a formerly lava-filled internal chamber of a mountain. You continued your series of incredibly difficult fights to get here, losing people, changing yourselves, some of you evolving into greater versions of yourself. What up, Kenji? You gave your all in these couple of fights to stop whatever this portal was. You did so only to have a fire giant squeak out at the last second and begin attacking you. The fire djinn was brought in by his lackey, the murder comet, and the fire djinn quickly dominated the monster of the giant, clearly using him for some ends besides just attacking you, getting incredibly enraged and shouting about losing 2 in the scene of this fight. The Jin was being weakened, so were you. So several of you were unconscious already or close to dying, and Nora ran off after consuming the innards of her periaptive wound closure, which had kind of an astral map of the way that things were pulled into Aeon. She had one last internal vision with her uncle, who told her why they hunt lichen, and that lichens were not native to any universe, and that they were an infection that is a precursor to the place being grabbed and put into Aeon's orbit, essentially being a candidate for pulling things. And she drank it, began to infect herself, understanding that she had to seek out that pattern of migration that she had discovered previously. Shot off her last couple of shots and gave in to the beast and ran away. The djinn, the water djinn, who was even further weakened than the fire djinn, looked to Dro as the new champion. Gave him the choice of having him stick around or having him stop this, but at the cost of unbalancing something. Dro told him to stop it. So he sacrificed himself to throw the elemental balance off kilter to a degree in which the Kirin could intervene, basically destroying himself, and the Kirin took his place, stamping their hoof after a brief argument with the fire djinn and freezing the environment around you. You go from agonizingly hot to stifling cold. Even the sweat on your bodies freezes and begins to flake and crack off of your bodies. But it's not entirely unpleasant. It's not a massively drastic or shocking feeling. It's more on the cool side, even though you should feel more. And we ended the session with the Kirin yelling at the djinn and telling him that a steward should watch his place. As this is unfolding, what are y'all doing?
Taking a little nappy.
I'm taking a little nappy right now with an arrow in my backy.
Yeah.
Where's the sword?
Where's the what?
A sword.
Your sword.
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
Dro currently has a dislocated arm.
Approximately here.
Oh boy.
Because I had to get to a new map that was kind of good compared to the old map as far as like locations go. There we go. Yeah, Kiki, you got a good map there. The trouble is getting a battle map. I mean, that's a really good scene. Getting a battle map to kind of line up to what we previously had. This was took me, I don't know, maybe 10 tries, but found this one. It was decent.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, approximately over here, and Dro, you got thrown this away.
Yeah, it
And
is.
you're no longer 10 feet in the air.
Am I able to get my sword?
Do you want to go near the gym right now?
No.
Because it's at the base of the steep.
No, I think
Wait it out.
Dro clocking where Yaslin is, he would pop his arm back into place for one.
Okay, roll a Constitution saving throw.
Why did I target myself? Whatever. Saving throw, you said?
Oh, the game's paused.
That's an 8.
An 8. You go to pop it back in. You take 1 point of bludgeoning damage as it's not just out of socket, something's broken now too.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And you are not able to get it back.
All right. One arm at this point over to Yaslin to, or into this. I gotta figure out how many. I think it's 10 that I have in my lay on hands. That's correct. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll pop or throw 4 hit points into Yaslin, and as she wakes up, notice the arrow in her back. Realizing where it came from, pull it out and pocket into his bag. All in like a swift motion.
Do I catch that he pockets this arrow as I...
No, you're surprised to wake up with snow in your
yeah.
face.
Yeah.
When you're up, Dro's just gonna motion to back away with the group, and he's gonna start making his way over to Margot to pump 4 hit points into her to get everyone up.
Are we not in battle? What's happening? I know Morgan described it, but I got lost.
The Kirin came in and more or less called a timeout as it's down here, like confronting with the Jinn, and kind of like came in and intervened before it could do you any more harm.
And the fire guys just chilled?
All the fire guys be dead, except I removed their references, so they look like they're alive. So the only one that's alive, besides the Jinn, is the Murder Comet.
Okay, cool. What's he up to if we're not in combat?
Shaking like a baby. He is terrified of the Kirin. Just sitting there in space going. He looks like a scolded child, basically.
I
don't think you're supposed to shake, baby. That was.
Okay.
was going around and touching everyone.
Very much. Margot,
No,
you
he's
get.
only touching the sleeping women.
Make it sound better. It makes it sound
You
way
made me
worse.
a paladin.
I did make you a paladin, but it's not about what I did, it's about how you use it.
4 hit points to Margot.
Make him feel better.
This to me. You are the one who made me the enemy.
So kinda,
Look out for that shadow hand. Sneaking around the place.
I believe that's Seamus's ability.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
remaining last two I put to myself. I'll be out.
Okay. All right. So you kind of Dro kind of going around. You see your new sponsor up there. Is anybody else doing anything as these, you witnessed two elemental forces doing immense battle, one of them obliterating it itself, and then something of a higher tier of some sort presenting itself in this space. Were you guys just listening?
I think Margot's just listening and recovering from almost dying.
Mhm.
Leo's cocking his crossbow and pointing it at the demon.
At the murder comet?
Yeah.
Are you taking that shot or just keeping it trained on him?
Keeping it trained until whatever this conversation ends.
Gotcha. Okay.
And you will look at it menacingly.
Kenji went through a little bit of puberty. His voice got a little bit deeper.
Seamus is out of here.
Yeah, I'm just.
Seamus said goodbye.
Nora's run off, and while I'm very concerned about what's going on here and what this fire thing could do as long as it's still alive, I definitely have just instinctively kind of just started moving towards where Nora went, just not understanding what happened.
And Seamus, who usually has such a cool and calculating head, is kind of adrift a little bit, and correct me if I'm wrong on any of this, but just kind of moving automatically, kind of checked out for the first time in probably a while.
Would we see
Being
him?
checked out is kind of a dangerous state. I expect he would think that way. He finds himself there now, not really sure what to do with it. And
Slinking into the dark because of all of that, not really sure. What's going on in Nora's head that would have caused what I just saw to happen. It felt like it was, she clearly made a choice, and the choice was on her own from what I could see. So I'm trying to respect that choice and whatever Nora is now going through. But I also know enough about Nora to know that was a very big decision that just took place there, whatever happened. And I'd like to know for sure that Nora was in the right place when it was made. But obviously she's bugged out, so I'm trying to stick with the team here, but also know that. Yeah, Nora's not there. I'm slinking into the shadows, not knowing.
Yeah, and as you do, you kind of see Nora kind of crest over a certain spot, and she looks back, and you do see her with this kind of extra furry form, not really herself, leaving her guns on the ground. At least the two that she had equipped, the pistol and the pepper box.
It's just an actual hippo out in the distance.
It's a were hippo.
It sounded like it's just it's a hyper-realistic hippo out there.
Last time I did have Midjourney create a pretty decent were hippo.
Not bad.
Yeah, kind of fuzzy and everything. Just kind of look.
Did we just lose him?
Oh
I
no.
think it's okay. That's not me.
I was like, oh no, is it me? Because typically it's my internet that goes.
Oh no, we did lose him.
Oh wait, right, yeah, I gotta loot these bodies.
Please, yeah.
Listen, I threw all of my javelins into a pool of lava. I threw both of my hand axes into a pool of lava.
It sounds like you need to get better aim.
Listen, it's not the aim is not the issue. It's the fact that once I throw an object into a volcano with a bunch of fiery creatures, it's not coming back.
Yeah, I'm just glad you didn't throw the sword when you had it.
Listen, there's a deep part of me that was like, I'm just gonna rage throw this sword at somebody.
I realized you had it, and you were just throwing stuff, and I was like, oh no, oh no.
Wait, get this off of her before she throws it. Here's the thing, Yaslin would throw the sword before she throws her axe, her great axe.
Yeah, I'm glad Dro took that. That was a very quick blue screen.
Sorry, and then followed by my journal self-destructing and jumping off my desk.
No.
Okay.
Realized that was a function of the journal.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What was X
If it really doesn't like what you write.
His prose is terrible.
Alright, I just need to roll
I'm
2
getting outta here.
to see how my luck feels today. It was the warm-up dice, okay?
Gotcha. So you see this kind of bestial version of Nora kind of running off into the distance and also gaining a little bit of a prehensile tail on all fours, a little bit less stocky. And she looks back and you see a yellow gleam in her eye. And there seems to be a look of recognition for a moment. There's this kind of hesitant, pull of the head. She turns and continues bolting off and is out of her sight.
Well, that could be a problem.
That's your thought. I like that. Great, now I'm haunted by a were-hippo.
Alright, so we come back and picking up on the last sentence or two. The Jinn looking at the Kieran. You dare to make Beebling your champion for less than a day and then use him to break the rules. Kieran, before snapping and stomping its foot and turning it all to ice. A steward should know its place. You've had your chance. The balance tipped in your favor through a look of stroke of chance. And you failed to do what you wanted to do. The interference of mortals is inevitable. But he is mine now, regardless of the time. He is one of my hierarchy. The amount of time he's been so is irrelevant. You are no worse off than when you started. You were just not as far ahead as you wished you were. Now, take yourself and go, while I let you, as I am on my right, to clean up your kind as I see fit in my domain. Jin looks over at you with pure ire and growls. You see, all of the snow around him within a 20-foot radius just falls into raindrops. You're right. Water is weaker than ever before. Wind and earth stewards are broken. And I remain. The game continues. But I have the upper hand. I will see you soon. And looks over at all of you. Dro, specifically. New champion. Congratulations. Day one, and you have become a thorn in my side.
Not the first person to say that to him. Won't be the last.
The difference is I am not a person. I am a manifestation of creation itself. You will not enjoy the next time we meet. Looks briefly over his shoulder. Come. To the comet. And begins floating up towards the hole in the ceiling. They are in your domain, but they are mine to keep. I will take my army beyond what is here in this hole. The ones on the surface belong to me. You have no claim to them. And the Kieran kind of like snuffs out like in like frost coming down, like crashing into the stone with its hoof, adding a loud crack, and it breaks the rock. Agreed. He leaves with Comet trailing slowly behind him.
We're just gonna let them leave to fight us
You-
later when they're back at full health.
Do you really want to fight them? I'm at no health.
Just Dro points this dislocated arm and probably charred body.
All of you have severe burns.
Yeah, Dro's gonna slowly make his way over to the sword.
I'm pretty sure like Yaslin at this point has dished her boots because she was like dragged through lava.
Leo would put away his crossbow and relax a little bit.
I think Yaslin's gonna start rummaging around for some weapons on these, these creatures, because like while she's tied, she's also like, listen, I only have my great axe right now, technically.
Mm-hmm.
It would be nice to have a couple javelins to throw.
Yep. And these are only the bodies that you see, and many of these bodies are like
Yeah, of like weird
partially
shit.
sunken into the lava, and then it froze.
Oh, I
You
get
see
to-
like awkward limbs and stuff like jutting out of the stone. So, Yaslin, give me an investigation check. I'm
Yeah.
gonna say this is at disadvantage
Do I,
because
like-
so much of their bodies is covered in that rock. Right?
Yeah. So I obviously mean knowing that all these bodies are covered in rock. Does this rock, like, giving it a couple tinks with my great axe? I'm not, like, trying to break my great axe with stone, but, like, does it feel pretty solid?
This is
Or, like-
this is freshly flash frozen obsidian, essentially.
Oh!
It's kind of brittle.
Oh, so with enough force I could break it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Part of the glass, but kind of like glass.
Yeah, cool,
Yeah.
cool. So I think because I'm cool, I'm going to rage, and I'm gonna use my ram horns to essentially shatter all of this ground.
You gave this to her.
She does have the like crit damage against structures.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she gets siege monster when she makes attacks with her horns. The damage. So go ahead and roll me 6 attack rolls.
Of course. Let me just 1, 2. Oh my gosh, that's
Wow.
3.
Burn in a nat 20 and a nat 1.
Yeah.
To attack the ground.
4, 5. My head's obviously starting to hurt a little bit. 6.
Yeah, all
She
of
says with
those
a 21
absolute
against the
hurts.
ground.
It looks a little strange.
As she grows this, the back neck muscles on her body also puff out and enhance, so she can headbang all day long and doesn't get
for
fatigued.
anything. Yeah.
I also remember Dro had not seen you use the horns yet.
Yeah, so you just see her grow a pair of really thick, sturdy horns.
Let's just add
And
that to the
start
list of stuff we gotta
breaking
talk about.
The ground.
Margot's noting the
Yasmin.
new addition.
Yep.
Oh.
So Yaslin, roll me 6 damage rolls.
Okay.
Double them and quadruple it for the critical.
Okay, so for the first one, it's essentially a crit on all of the normal ones and then a double.
It's a double crit, which is a ×4 for the last one.
Okay.
So the giant, this bird here, this snake, and the hell wasp are not in the lava. It's all these other things.
Awesome. Awesome.
And
Awesome.
If you're digging, there's also the flaming skull dropped over here and sank into the lava, but it was fully submerged before the stone froze, or the lava froze into stone. So where are you targeting?
So I know there's a huge amount of stuff over here that has been dropped. So I think depending on how much it takes, how much. So it's kind of, yeah, I would say around this. Around. Well, if I could edit this, that would be nice. No, you're not. Circle coordinates. So around this area, depending how long it takes me to break up this ground before I start essentially.
You're good. With the way that you rolled, including the fact that you got a crit, yeah, you can basically uncover all of that stuff.
Yeah. So I want to. This is what I'm mainly focusing on. But if I uncover that within less than 6 attacks, then I would start going over here and over here with the last 2 or something like that. But we'll see. We'll see. So that's the first one.
You're already doubling, right?
Yeah, I'd already doubled that because I just
Got it.
for a crit.
Just
for that.
checking.
What is it? So it's just 6, Oh, it's 46 on this one. So this would be on the crit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're going to go to the total of brain can math. That's 44, 54. Got 2 rolls left. 61.
2, 3, 4.
65.
Okay, that's like 70 points of damage. Yeah, I'd say you can break up what's in your circle, and you can also break up the space where you think the skull dropped into.
Yeah, I'll do that then. I'll get a little souvenir trophy.
Okay. So you break it up. So Yaslin's doing the hi ho thing with her head and gathering things. When that's done, roll me investigation check.
Alright. Cool. Uh, 15.
15, okay. Off of the little spellcasting newts that could see through Seamus's darkness, you find its morning star.
Okay.
It's just a basic morning star. And let's see here.
I'm gonna write these down.
Okay, and if you're looking for specifically items that you could equip, that's going to be it from those guys. You do find, I mean, there is the great sword that you were slashed with from the giants as well.
Oh yeah, I'll take that.
Its plate armor is pretty freaking mangled.
I can't really wear armor.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So looking for thrown weapons, this is not really your batch of guys to get that from. Because mostly it is like spellcasters and like creatures, and none of them have throwing stuff. The one guy that could have had throwing stuff was that newt who dove into the lava and ran away.
Darn you, newt!
Yep. Okay, so if that's all Yadzin's looking for, cool. So
yeah,
while
all
she's
Yasmin was looking for was that stuff.
while she's headbutting the mountain, what are the rest of you doing?
So, I'm looking around. I don't see Seamus or Nora. By the way, did I see the whole Nora thing happen? I don't know where I was. I wasn't actively playing.
I don't think you really understand what happened to Nora. You just see her guns in the ground. And you kept hearing her shoot, shoot, shoot while everybody's focus was on that like storm that Drow had created and the firewall and stuff. And your attention was fully this away. So my guess is, what's your passive perception?
Passive perception 16. Not bad. I'm proficient in perception. No, that's persuasion. Sorry. Perception I'm also proficient in, but it's 14.
Oh, okay. I think we updated everything for you. What's your passive investigation?
Passive investigation would be 11. I don't know if that's
And
right.
passive insight.
Passive insight is 11 as well.
Okay, cool. Alright, with a 14, yeah, you kind of caught something out of the corner of your eye, like, you heard, like, Nora's guns rattle to the ground as she dropped them, and you turned away, and you see her kind of, like, hunched over and, like, start to, like, run on 4 limbs. But the reason as to any of that is pretty lost on you.
Yeah.
You did see her take a massive hit from the murder comet, though.
Alright. I guess, yeah, so Leo looking around, not seeing Seamus or Nora, I would walk up to Dro, who's picking up the sword, and I would ask him where they are. And we can kind of skip the whole explanation if Dro's just going to tell me what happened to Nora.
I don't know if Dro noticed. Dro's being burned.
Yeah, Dro was getting throat choked inside of a firewall. He doesn't know anything.
He's very pissed too.
Yeah, so you guys just know that, yeah, for the lot of you, Nora and Seamus are just gone.
Alright, well, I would suggest then to Dro that we need to regroup and get out of here. So we'd probably go over to Yaslin.
She's headbanging.
And if I'm over there and she's headbanging stuff, I would look for money. See if there happens to be any coin or valuable metals or jewels.
Okay. Give me your own investigation check there.
Is Marco unconscious?
Not anymore.
I'm not.
You're not just like slumped over there in the corner or something.
Alright, that's a dirty 1, so, or no, a dirty 2.
Yeah, the
See
minus
a
2.
3.
The minus
Because
2.
of the minus. Because of the minus.
I
two.
still
Oh, it's a
I still have
32.
Soul
Okay,
Crush.
That's right. Okay. You start looking over and, like, you're just kind of zoning out, like, no, Yaslin's head smacking is a little rhythmic, and like you stopped moving for a minute, and you're like, oh, I'm a little tired.
Yeah, that's fair. So, yeah, after Yaslin is like done, I would say we need to go regroup and find everyone.
Okay.
Say anything, or is she just rage pounding the ice?
She like, I think, notices your presence, but she's also has like a task at hand that she's kind of like focused on, so it's kind of like I see you, but I'm gonna keep doing my thing.
Alright, that's cool. I'd head over to Kiki then. Or Marco, I mean.
Margo, what you up to?
So we never discussed this. Does her sight end when she drops unconscious, or does it stay for the full hour regardless?
That's a good question.
Would it be like Devil Sight? Technically, they wouldn't lose Devil Sight even if
That's
they
what we
went
based
down.
it off of.
Yeah, I'd say no, because it's more like you opening your soul up to a different space, in that it's a little bit irrelevant of your body.
So she's just taking in the new environment, because obviously this is not the dizzying chaos of the graft and the fire djinn and the water djinn fighting and all of that. So she's just like grounding herself, doing a little meditation, taking in the probably gentler world around her right now with her dismal hit points as she recovers in the corner.
Leo's gonna walk over and like gesture you up, like we gotta go. Let's get out of here.
Yes, we should. We must get the others. We need to go to town and get some healing or care.
Yes.
Rest. Yes.
So presumably we're all together now. You're all gonna come kind of chill with me. Kieran is gone, right? Did you say he faded away and like? Or is he
No, the Kieran's still there. It's like just, you know, as much as you can read the body language of a mystical mountain water unicorn,
Hey, you'd be surprised.
right? Sitting there, and it's like looking defensive in posture. Like it's not wanting the djinn to come back, like making sure that it doesn't come back for like a repeat performance. So it's kind of like still sticking there, staring up the hole, not really giving you any mind yet.
And say Dro will come up and talk to it, but while Yaslin's having a rock concert over there and stuff.
Rock concert. Inspiration for a great pun.
Is there like some like decent chunks of like obsidian that I could potentially like? I just want fancy throwing axes.
Make a spearhead out of it.
Yeah, fancy throwing axes and fancy javelins for good old little me.
You could cave woman this. You've got plenty of material to make that work. You would have to figure out how to give them some better defense against shattering.
Oh, she fully intends these to be a one-use.
She wants them to shatter in the bodies.
If you go through the time to make one-time use javelins or daggers or throwing axes and stuff, I will give them like a splash zone of like a 5 feet, like everything within 5 feet has to make a dexterity save.
Yaslin, like I wanna like, I was just like I figured like there's potential if they break, and so honestly, at that point, like knowing how easily this obsidian is breaking, she'd be like just looking for like the pieces that look like it could work as axe heads or the tips of javelins.
What we could do is get a bunch of tiny pieces, put them in a closed container with explosives, and then you have a homemade obsidian grenade. You have an obsidian grenade.
Like, I'm like really good at throwing things.
That's a good hybrid shopping episode. If you want to bring these along to like you can play with whatever you want to make.
Yeah,
the rules will determine.
Bringing some giant obsidian chunks there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think I want to do this.
I'm just waiting for the conversation. I'm out of stuff to throw. Really?
Listen, I ran out of obsidian. I think she can like bring back a ton though. So like, really, how much can I carry?
Less than normal. You're at 4 hit points.
This is true. I need to sleep, guys.
Yeah.
We all do.
I can normally carry like 200 extra pounds on me, or I guess 100 something.
Yeah, you are hurting significantly. So, are you guys all joining up, or Dro, you were saying something?
Yeah, Joe's gonna have a conversation with the Kieran. He's gonna walk over and get the sword, and when he clocks the Kieran looking up, he's out of instinct, just gonna look up as well, but walk over and... So what now?
Give me a perception check real quick.
Oh boy.
Alright. You look up and you see through that hole, you've had a sense that something was going on. And you look up and there's a thick rainstorm pouring overhead.
But I tell it doesn't seem abnormal, does it? Just like a heavy storm.
Considering it was, I don't know, it seemed, you can feel a bit of the Kieran in it because of your connection with it.
Okay.
It feels on purpose, and considering that sky was nothing but ash and smoke a while ago. Yeah, it seems something's up with it.
So he's gonna struggle to put the sword on his back, and then just kind of stand near the Kieran, just looking up and asking, what now?
Close its eyes away from the ceiling. See a shiver run through its body. Roll me an insight check.
I didn't even roll, it just dropped.
Something's bothering it. Not exactly sure what.
Leo will make his way over there if Dro starts talking to him.
And looks at all of you and specifically like catches that eye of Kenji. The two of them both kind of just like nod at one another. Now we do what this mountain does best. Heal and recover. And unfortunately, the physical portion of that is going to be much easier. Your red friend over there will bear a mighty scar. But so many lives have been lost. And most scars are invisible.
The graft is closed. This shouldn't be a time for somber. The pain has stopped. The bleeding has stopped.
The cause has stopped, I agree. The pain heals with time, but it also magnifies in the short term. But agreed. There could have been much, much more that became wrong from this.
I would say you're pretty lucky some heroes got involved.
I smiles sheepishly. I would say the same.
I think this whole time that Leo's talking to the Kieran, Joe has not made eye contact with anybody, but is continuing to stare up at the storm. And then, Morgan, question for you. With Dro being in that fire, how much of his clothing's burned?
Most of it.
So they would see a ton of scars across his body, covering pretty much every inch of exposed skin.
Leo
But-
better not look like that. His clothes are flame retardant.
He will not be unclothed.
That's what Margot's doing. She's mending herself, all her clothes in the corner. Mending,
Yeah, but
prestidigitation. By the time we leave, she's gonna look glorious.
There's just
Fair.
sensor bars everywhere.
Except for face. Prestidigitation doesn't help get rid of I'm so fucking tired.
Yes.
I'm exhausted.
And Kieran looks back to you, Dro. We heal, we rest, we console those that are left. And at least you and I, at some point, will prepare for war. And we have a lot to discuss.
Yeah.
Especially in this bond.
And when he says bond, he's gonna look down at the mark that the Kieran put on him. That echo phased out of.
We should talk about him as well.
That's the plan. And then I think Dro will eventually, without looking at anybody, just start walking out.
And Leo will follow.
He'll glance over at Yaslin, make sure she's okay after she just beat the shit out of the ground.
She looks pretty, like, her horns are receding now. She's, like, dragging this huge fire giant's greatsword behind her. Besides the huge gash along her, like, collarbone down to her, like, waist or whatever. She looks pretty okay. Really exhausted looking. Kind of like she's been beaten up multiple times today.
But yeah.
Yeah. I guess you would notice, I think, oddly enough, about the wounds that she has, there's like the slight sign of like scales that are slowly going over that area.
I think at that point, if he clocks that, he would kind of like look over, see that, kind of question it, but realize that's another thing we'll add to the list of stuff to talk about. And I think, and Leo would notice that Dro is not looking at him at all. And he's going to look around and not see Seamus. See Margot coming up, cleaning herself up, and just kind of shake his head like, really? And then just kind of, I think he would see Kenji pat him on the head, especially him being bigger. And then I think he would just, before he starts walking all the way out, look back towards Sakirin and to most of the group. Where do we want to rest?
Maybe not in the cold.
Yes, I think we'll find Seamus first.
Where did he go?
Find your friends. And I'll find you.
Oh, okay.
There's only one entrance in here, right?
Not necessarily the way you guys get in, but
None of us would have
I would
had.
have seen him going this, like, even behind the wall, the way I can see with my true sight. Unless I wasn't paying attention, which I don't know if Dro had healed me when he left.
You roll me a perception check at disadvantage because you were one unconscious and then two just brand new conscious.
That's fair.
So
Valid.
perhaps not.
And on the other
Alright.
other note of things is like they're like snow on the ground.
There is.
Do we see like footprints or like
Yeah.
tracks?
Yeah, it's pretty easy to track these two.
Yeah, also just points to the ground.
That Dro's gonna hit his earring and cast message in that direction. I don't know how far Seamus would have gotten this time. I think it's like 120 feet.
Yeah, Leah would have followed the tracks with Yaslin.
I think Dro will be doing this as we're going and following it.
Okay.
I haven't used this thing in a while. I think the last time I did was to mess with Seamus.
Seamus would have gone like as far up as like the point that Nora, disappeared from and set her guns down or whatever. So
Are her guns still
It's not
there,
lit.
by the way?
Yeah.
Dro will scoop
They're
those up.
cold and frosty, but yeah.
Dro,
I think we would. Yeah, we'd take those.
Dro would grab them.
It sounded like Nora had like dropped them like right at the point that like I could see her and then left.
Okay.
That's essentially the point that I'm walking up to, but I don't know if that's or yeah, where yeah.
You should grab them, Seamus. Like, if
In
you
one-
go up,
one-
you should take
yeah.
them.
Somebody should grab them, and I would have grabbed them first if
Yeah,
Okay.
if
Yeah,
they
you
were
were
back
able to-
here.
She dropped them as she transformed and before she turned around and left. So they're still in this place where you're fighting.
Dro will grab them, and then when he catch up to you, without saying anything, he just hands them both to you. But scratch the message if we turn this corner and see him. Which I imagine we do.
yeah, sure, yeah,
Okay.
easier that. I would turn to the others as I hear them coming up. And... Did she say anything,
Who?
Nora?
Where is she?
She's taken off.
When?
Right at the end of the fight there. She'd gone down. But then Leo, I think, had picked her up. And then she was fighting. I mean, that's crazy there. Fucking snowing down here now. But her necklace broke, it looked like. And she's my accent. She just kind of wolfed out. Liking it and such. Werewolves, I think she's talked about it before with the group.
Wasn't she not a fan of them?
Like a sworn hunter, basically. Killed their family members.
What? Why do you guys all change into different things?
What are you talking about?
He just motions to Kenji.
Yeah, I'm curious.
This is
Wow, I picked up your accent.
No, yeah, I'm curious now. What is this about?
I am curious about that. She was the only normal one of the group.
I think normal is putting things lightly.
She says, looking at Leo.
Let it be known that I don't make normal characters for my campaigns.
While this is
Before we
happening,
got into this mess over here, she said that she talked to the Karen. We should talk to the Karen.
I think we should rest.
We did talk to the Karen. He doesn't have anything to say.
Okay,
told us to
let's talk
rest.
again.
he'll find us. I'm getting. Or he'll be here.
Or he'll just snoop in the conversation and insert it. You called?
Is my
Just turn
You
around.
just hear everything that we say here.
yes.
Dro's like,
Dro's like in the process of trying to like tie up his arm and stuff. And all of a sudden the Kieran's just over him again.
You told Nora that you had a way to get her back home.
Oh,
And he's gone.
What
He
you done?
dipped. Don't
And
ask
this
me
Kieran
questions.
just disappeared. Just disappeared.
Kieran's like,
I have no idea what's going on with my
Like,
computer
like that,
tonight,
oh,
guys. This is wild. Like,
The Kieran was like, oh shit, I've been called out on my ploy. Best. I got a war to plan, guys. Bye.
We're covering for you here. No worries. Don't worry.
Put him on the spot. It's okay.
I think some of Foundry's new updates are like pushing graphics cards more because my laptop died several times in the last week. Some of it during campaign, like during play, but some of it was like in other gaming and stuff. So I think Foundry's pushing it more.
We just lost him again, I think.
I think we lost him again. But
I
like,
think we did. Oh no.
That's a pretty good grin.
don't worry. It's a
I'm gonna
pretty
screenshot that.
it's a pretty devious smile of somebody up to no good.
Yep.
Especially after
Yeah,
that
yeah,
fight.
yeah.
all smile the same way or like point at him or something and take the shot.
That's not where he is for me.
I was gonna say he's.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, he's like
There.
away from me.
Oh, now Lily's there.
He's there.
yeah, now you're pointing to the chat. That's not.
I've been doing some like stuff in the back end to prepare like the next scene, and I'm gonna stop. I think I'm making my computer think too hard. And I'm pointing my fan at my computer because it's Utah and it's freaking hot right now.
Oh, ooh.
Okay. So Seamus calls out the Kieran.
Yeah.
I only have a little bit of insight into what happened to her. Most of that, whatever that exchange was inside her own head. I don't have Dwayne. My guess is that she found what she was looking for and decided to pursue it.
Theo would walk over and maybe put his hand on Seamus' shoulder and just be like, I'm sorry, Seamus. We should get out of here.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Perhaps we can find her in the town.
Is it even safe to be wandering out through here? Are all those creatures gone? As Dro turns and says to the Kieran,
You've done enough. All I did was bust her, that's because it's all I was allowed to do. If you'll allow me, I can take you to safe passage.
That would be nice. I have a question.
Yes.
What happened to the earth and wind? Creatures that were like this one.
Their names are Endola and Enmaspada. My friend, who I will have to see again, is Entrios. The one you fought is Anfax. Ultimately, they are immortal. But even if defeated completely as Entriosaurus, they will return.
That is good to know.
The balance is not so out of place that Endolma and Zbala are similarly defeated. I merely think they are wounded and restrained.
Restrained.
Is that a bad thing?
Not. I'm sorry. Enfax did not have the time to seal them. Most likely just bind their physical forms.
And we
they
let
couldn't
him go.
create them.
Should we do something about that?
Yes. They'll be fine. And I'll bring them to you to speak.
Do you are here, and obviously your element is water. Obviously, the 4 elements. Are there other Kierans like you? And another question to that is, do they have their own champions?
We
Why-
could possibly ask these questions in town. I really
Or-
need power.
Or when we are safe?
Dr-
Either or.
Dro's not listening to anybody.
Leo pick up his hands and do a little clap clap. Let's go.
The Kieran's
Outta here.
gonna- The Kieran's gonna smile. Rest. It's gonna blow its breath at you. It's gonna cast a high-level sleep spell on all of you.
Well, it's gonna succeed. Yeah,
Oh, wait, I don't think I can be put to sleep. I can't. Sleep spells don't work on me.
You're fine.
I can't be put to sleep either.
Friggin' knows.
But when I'm sleeping, I will willingly sleep on this.
Yaslin is out. Oh, we don't have a sleep? Aww.
I swear there was like a
Not
default
well
one.
used in high games. But there's a cloud of kind of like mist that like washes over all of you.
Oh wait, I lied. I'm immune to dream, but not
you
to
just-
spell effects that put you to sleep, like sleep spell. So I am asleep. Mix that up.
Okay.
There's no sleep icon?
I swore
No, I
that.
don't have a sleep icon. I should.
So
Kieran
Joe's
comes
it.
over and he kicks Dro in the head and then he's asleep.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
He's like, shh, go to sleep, go to sleep.
I don't even think Dro would have noticed it. You guys fell asleep.
The
Yeah.
body's
Like a-
dropping
there's-
around him.
There's a moon.
Uh,
There's a moon with little Z's on it. That we
Oh,
can
what?
sleep.
Just got it.
There it is. I was like, I feel like there is one. Dro's
Yeah,
out.
refresh.
Oh no, Dro's can't be out.
oh.
Okay. And for those of you that are resisting sleep, there's still like a mist that like washes over you and like blinds you for a moment.
Is there no saving throw for this?
No, there's no saving throw for the sleep spell.
The sleep.
It's just
the
based on
sleep
HP.
spell
Holy shit.
I'm snoozing. Please don't wake me up until the morning.
You all wake up, or so Leo gives in. Seamus gives in, so Dro, it's just you. Kenji's out.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be seeing a black screen.
No. I'm glad you are. though.
What?
Why
I
is it-
see things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna reload.
I
Oh.
think I'm still on the waterfall if we're supposed to be somewhere else.
Mm-mm.
It logged
No,
me
you should
out.
be
Okay.
on somewhere else now.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't think I'm there.
Yeah, go ahead and refresh.
You might have been logged out like I was.
Yeah, my entire foundry was freaking out, so I refreshed, and so it probably popped me back in mid move.
I still see oh, never mind. I lied. Oh, this looks more peaceful.
You kind of come to your senses, and Dro, you're the only one that doesn't like immediately knock out.
I think he would just give him like a stink eye. Just for a
What do
minute.
you mean? It's-
He would just kind of look at him like, really?
You're very chatty for someone who needs to be in an infirmary.
Yeah, and you're not the first person that's tried to shut me up.
So while they rest, chatty champion of mine, what do you want to know? And I will not repeat myself to when they are awake, so many things I will deign to wait until you are all recovered and of sound mind.
Well, one, in which we can wait for them to wake up, was the previous question I'd asked before you had decided they needed to nap. Other question, rolling up whatever's left of a sleeve, exposing the mark. Where did he go?
Back to where he is from. His origination.
But he's alive.
Depends on the definition of what you would find alive. He exists.
How much do you know about him?
As much as I can know about one of the other domains. One of the other elemental pillars.
Do you know what plane he's at?
He's here. He's on my own.
Okay. Then I can keep my promise.
Sorry that I couldn't tell you what it would mean if you became my champion, that it would cost you him. But as he stands as he stood with your previous state, he was an infection. And I do not mean that as though he were a bad friend or something you should not spend your time with. I mean it as literally as possible.
No. He was my family. The only one I had. And I'll glance over at the group that I had. I promised him answers similar to answers I'm looking for in life. And he'll get them. In time. Same as me.
If it's any consolation, I believe you are now in the part of the world, and you are now involved in the machinations that can eventually provide those answers. You have reached that starting point that you've been searching for so long. And I know it's painful.
Jero's gonna pull out the notebook he carries and always writes in as the Kieran's talking about this and just flipping through the pages.
Kieran kind of settles down on the ground, even though you are in a room with rich, deep water that has the smallest of ripples on it. And each of the small ripples turns into white water and travels around. The tile is cold and yet somehow comfortable to those that are asleep. Doesn't ache and pinpoint the sides, the body, the joints in which you lay on it. It is peaceful, cool. There's a strong sense of rejuvenation. And the ripples inside the tile move similarly to the swirls of the water. And the Kieran settles down. A little bit, just a little higher than head height to you now, Joe.
I was gonna close the book and kind of just hold it up. Most of my life is in this book. This request, this task, whatever the hell you want to call it, to find the one answer to the question, why? A while back, I was taken to some library. Actually, pretty much abducted and taken there. A man, his glider, talked, and I don't even know if I believe it, but saying that any answer to questions could be found in this library if we knew how to search and find it. I was skeptical till I found a certain book, black book. But something about it, the answers I've looked for my entire life sitting in front of me, and yet I was unable to grab that book and open it. The quick answer I was looking for compared to, and then holding up his journal, the life that I've been spending with this book. He's not really saying it directly to the Kieran, just out loud. I still want to know why. He puts it in his bag. And one day I will. But right now, the first time in my life, I feel a cause. He kind of looks over at the group. And before you, there was somebody that granted me abilities that I didn't understand, nor do I really understand these. Do you know who that was?
when I marked you. I had to repel the mark you already had. Have some fundamental gaps in your understanding. If I told you right now, it probably wouldn't make sense. But you say that it was in the hierarchy of shadows. Elemental darkness. I belong to the hierarchy of water.
I'll just kind of sit there in silence, taking it all in. Wanted is a unfamiliar term to me. Never felt it. It's quite nice. He's gonna get up and walk over and just start meditating until he falls asleep.
My friends, be in the What is Leo dreaming about?
He's dreaming, I think, because what I'm dreaming about right now is back home, his monsters that he left behind. Specifically thinking about like his big blue dragon, some of the other monsters that he had with him. And also thinking about Fuzz a little bit. You know, they didn't know each other long, but they grew a little fond of each other.
It's always hard to lose one. Because it's always hard to lose yourself. What is Kenji dreaming?
Oh, interesting. What comes to mind is he's dreaming about, man, I can't even remember her name, which is good because Kenji wouldn't. Our old turtle apprentice, our old Chia's character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's thinking about the time when we sold muffins to the spa, and he got to sit in the spa outside and fill his head with water.
Amos, what are you dreaming of? And for once, you're not sleeping on your feet upside down.
The fight before Seamus ended it, he was down to 1 HP. He was, put everything out on the table, basically. the last fight, he was at 100% health when it ended. So he was physically in pretty good shape. But internally right now, he is way more jacked up than when he had only 1 HP. And I think he is having fitful sleep. And I think that instead of like being lost in the dark for Seamus, it would be like the opposite. He's like in this just bathed in light and can't find the shadow that he's looking for right now.
Yasmin.
Her dreams are of her training in the forested mountains that she used to surrounding where she grew up. And I think she always felt that sense of being like slightly different than all the other kids, but that voice saying to her that you weren't meant to be alone kind of rings in her head. And so she takes a little bit of comfort in that.
Margot.
Margot can't dream.
Oh. It's just darkness.
So Margot, where are you?
I imagine she's somewhere she's been all her life when she sleeps, but it's more real now in recent years. Like she's actually physically there. And she's looking around, ready for a fight, remembering what the quarry said in the battle. A little scared to be alone right now, knowing her current condition, magically and physically.
And Drew.
I think he would be dreaming of his home. Running the streets as a kid. Watching all the people around him. Him in the shadows, out of view of others. And just recalling events back home. Recalling previous fights. Recalling everyone in the group just going unconscious at times, and then recalling the group when we made it to Ripple Top and had a few drinks and ate some food, and just recalling the peace, acceptance for that small time. Recalling him and Yaslin's good cop, bad cop, and failing miserably. And meeting people just as odd as him, but accept him. Maybe not as much, but more than he's ever experienced. I think at one point, instinctually, he would maybe be slightly smiling at times in his sleep. Trying to push away the baggage that he's carried most of his life. Still there a little, but learning to forgive, forget, move on.
Okay. You all dive into your sleep. most of you restfully. Seamus and Marco, not so much. Sinking, your bodies recover. You see that white water that's happening from only like centimeter or so of ripples that are happening inside of this space around you. As you sleep, it focuses some of its energy. And that white water foam kind of drifts up and comes and hovers around you like a blanket. Begins to heal you. And at least your physicality begins to right itself.
Does Leo's soul crush happen to fade away?
Roll me an insight check. Just to kind of piece together what's going on. Not entirely, but it does reduce down to a -1 instead of a -2.
Oh, I'll take that.
You've got another 24 hours on it.
Alright.
And you can all take long rests as you have your first, probably literal sanctuary in what feels like days and worth of fighting and resting. And fighting and resting.
100.
The long march is finally finished up.
Oh, that's a good long rest.
And that's where we're going to take our break as you all drift off into your various forms of rest. And the real world troubles you very little. At least for a moment.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
Awesome.
You guys about 10 minutes after.
So, you all begin to stir, waking up from your long rest and your very well-deserved recovery. You awaken, you're not sure how long it's been. This certain level of exhaustion is the type that it drags you forward in time with no sense of how far it's taken you. Who's up? Who's awake first?
I feel like Margot would be most eager to awake.
Dro wouldn't be far behind. Too much going on.
You're up first, and the Kieran's just laying down, kind of like a cat. It raises its eyes when it sees you start to move. Is there anything you do or think of, or in this brief moment you have to yourself?
Should I just look around, take account that they're all there safe, and just start scanning the room, and probably reach over to whoever's nearest her and shake them awake.
The
two people.
Roll a dice to see if you get Dro or Yasmin.
The two people who you invaded their personal space already.
Yeah, she's gonna wake up Joe.
That's probably smart.
Margot, as you're in this room, give me a perception check because you're kind of taking
Oh
it.
dear.
She's gonna shake.
Oh
Wait.
dear.
Oh,
This.
oh yeah, Leo, water walking is completely gone, by the way.
Oh dear.
Oh yeah, let me take off the flippers icon, which was the best thing I could find for water walking.
I love
thought
it.
those were baby bottles. I was so confused for so
I had to
long.
go in and look what they were for a second.
Flippers.
Yeah,
They
I
were
was
like
also.
upside down baby bottles. I was so confused.
Yeah.
Put them back on
12.
now that I have that in. Oh, they do look like upside down baby bottles, like two
Yeah,
of them.
no,
I was also considering potential popsicles, and I was like, why?
Oh, popsicle sounds great. So hot. Okay. What'd you get? You got a
12.
12. You look around, and this room is too stunning to allow the word beautiful to disgrace it. This is like the entire space here feels like an homage to the pure beauty of water. Every detail, every tile seems to move like it's its own piece of shimmering sea stone or opal or forgetting the name of the stone. It's like a blue seashell that's like really reflective. You see the ceilings and walls are just covered in beautiful blue and white and gold molds and mosaics of tile that seem to naturally flow like almost Harry Potter style. And you get a severe feeling of peace.
I'll stand and look over at the Kieran. Are we safe here for a time?
The qualifying is wise. For a time, yes. Nothing's safe indefinitely.
She's just gonna move off to the side and start doing her stretches, which like her Tai Chi thing, which she didn't get to do before she went to sleep because somebody forced her to sleep. So she's gonna do it twice to make up for the disbalance in her schedule.
Sounds good. Okay, and you roll off and start shaking Joe.
Yeah, I'm curious. How do you wake Jiro up?
I feel like she would have just like nudged him with her foot as she walked down the stairs, and then just started essentially doing Tai Chi at the bottom of the stairs.
Hold on. Okay. Didn't wake up.
He didn't.
No, he would. It was really to decide if you kicked him if he was going to try to immediately like grab out of his sleep or if he's just going to kind of open his eyes.
That's fair.
Just kind of look over. Look at his torn up clothing. Hey, you got that little fixer-upper ability, right?
Yes.
Can you do something about this?
Everybody give me a D100 check for how frickin' thrashed.
Oh,
Well, I mended on mine.
Yeah, but
Listen.
mending is not perfect.
Right off the bat, Yaslin doesn't have boots right now. Like, I've accepted her boots are gone.
Two
Three.
rolls from Leo.
No,
I think Yaslin's clothes are
you
tattered.
got two from Drow. One was his flip. So then,
I see-
oh wait,
no, I see two, Leo.
Leo, I see an 8 for Leo and then a 51.
I think I
rolled a
still-
51.
Yeah, I still have control of Kenji and Leo, I think, is what
So
happened.
you rolled
okay.
under Leo.
So that's Seamus.
Seamus got the 8.
No,
Seamus is 8.
I got the one, the 8.
Oh.
That was the first
Oh.
throw. It was definitely me.
Oh, well.
It's the fire retardant clothes.
Fire retardant clothes.
Fire retardant clothes are...
Low rolls on the D100 are bad.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I was definitely the second roll.
He takes that back. I was the 51.
Seamus clearly pressed it first.
Alright, let me get separate rolls from both of you. We'll just nuke both of those.
If someone rolls an 8 again.
$38. I thought it was going there.
Just another 8.
Okay.
Just
Oh,
nude
you
except
had
for a cloth.
Yeah, so Margot, who didn't necessarily take a lot of fire damage. I think you got hit by other things. Yeah,
I
and
got
with
hit by a
your,
rock at the end that took me down.
yeah, with your mending, you're able to. You've got like 93% of your clothing left, and the last 7% are just absence. Like there's nothing to mend back. They're just gone.
Oh yeah, it's like
Yeah, like, listen, she's got like her.
yeah, this is more than half naked. She is in a battle bikini right now.
It is essential battle bikini. Like her the leather pants she did have are like leather shorts now, and like the like shirt she had is now just like horse bra.
Mhm. Yep. So that's how much percentage of your clothes is left over, folks. Dro, lucky for you, you were fire resistant for that fight. Yaslin took a lot of it. Seamus, you didn't have a ton left from the first round. And your cloak is fine, but everything in front of the cloak is what is thrashed and looking sparse. And Leo took a lot of hits and recovered a lot of health, so there's a lot that's in trouble for Leo.
Yeah,
What, I
so-
picture Leo shirtless with like the burnt off capris, like his standard capris.
Is Leo just like a scrawny guy?
He's pretty buff.
That's
I mean,
nice.
he's skinny but buff.
Like a runner kind of build.
Yeah.
But he's got the highest strength out of all you guys. Oh, I guess that's not true. Yaslin.
Hilarious.
I was like,
Yaslin's
booty,
there.
yeah.
No, I misspoke. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
not much to compete against Dro in strength.
So because
There is no.
Leo was like, he swindled to get the current armor he's wearing. I'm still holding my old armor in my bag. I think it would be appropriate, and he'll take the AC drop just to look better. So he's gonna swap for his old clothes.
That's hilarious.
Okay. Point of inspiration for purposely nerfing yourself because you want to look fabulous.
Yes.
Hey, we got Margo over here who's always cleaning herself up.
She always looks fabulous.
She's like a cat who's like always like cleaning their
Mhm.
fur. Like even
She's
when
always
they're
doing a
fine.
little prestidigitation wherever she goes.
And her somatic ability or her somatic portion of a spell happens to be this.
That's good to know, though.
Okay, so yeah. You guys are
Messed
looking
up.
rough and a little shameful.
Like I just walked through a volcano? Yeah. Yeah.
Statement still stands to Margo. Joe's gonna ask you to at least cover up the scars.
I can try. She's going to try and mend at least like his sleeves, I guess, to cover up the marks? I'm guessing that's what you're asking, right?
As much as you can. He's got scars all over his body.
Oh, okay. She will do what she can.
Are they like burn scars or like cuts or a mix?
Cuts. I mean, you probably get their sword blades, weapons.
She's like mending his clothes because I think everyone else is still asleep.
Some of the wounds are circular. It's like a mishmash of things on his body.
Warrior, you've the marks of the blade on your body.
I wouldn't say warrior, more veiled protector.
Leo would turn up to the Karen and be like, "Do you guys have human food here?" Or whatever these guys are.
And as everybody kind of wakes up, you hear sound coming onto their head. And as they do, in front of them, like there's a shimmer like mist, or like the air is heavy with water and solidifies into like a vegetable-based like spread. It eats. Plants know the way to mend a person.
Is Dro's arm still dislocated?
It's backward.
Okay.
But you can feel something like it's gonna be sore for a little while.
I think he would just kind of move it around, get used to the pain.
Yeah, Leo would start eating, right? There's vegetables and plants and stuff here.
Okay,
Start eating up breakfast.
but is there meat?
I knew it. I knew it.
Sorry, I'm checking to see if the Karen can create meat. This is an actual ability.
Create meat is
Like
just
create food and
a-
water.
I can purify it.
There's
Oh,
no
God.
food chunks. Just eat it.
Like a Beyond Burger or something would be great.
Soy is a good replacement.
I think Dro would elbow Yaslin.
What?
Vegetables are protein, not just meat. He slides one over to you.
She like eyes it like it is some disgusting like alien turd.
Just eat it.
You want me to
Okay.
eat that?
Okay, I lied. It's not. So it's the ability that I was thinking of cannot create consumable foods under permanent plants.
Oh
So it
no,
does
we're
cast-
gonna puke.
It does. It does cast create food and water. So 45 pounds of food and 30 gallons of water appear, and I'm going to say,
A lot of food.
even though the spell says it's bland, this is the Karen's domain, and it is delicious. There's a well set spread for everyone.
Everyone?
I'll just point.
What a shame
There's
it'd
some
be.
rather
Dead rats in
one
a
second
bowl.
here.
Because you've been
so mean.
If you've been paying attention, you would know what Seamus eats.
Hippo
Leo
blood?
has specifically not been paying attention.
Yeah, that's
Raw food.
You eat, pastries, right? We sell pastries.
Well, Yaslin's like taking all the meat, so
I
if
don't-
you want the meat, you bargain with her.
You gonna eat raw meat?
Oh yeah.
There is a good spread for everybody there.
When Seamus wakes up, if anybody was looking over at him, first you would see him like wake with a startle because he was not having a great sleep. But you would immediately see the shadows like pull closer around him. Like the area around him would just get dark for a second as he reaches out for the shadows. And then kind of consciously realizes that he's kind of
Do we see any?
flexing a little bit.
Do we see anything in there besides Seamus? At least Dro.
No, just Seamus there. He's just, yeah, you could tell he was having a nightmare or something.
Okay.
Yeah, Kenji in the water. That's good.
Kenji grabs like a giant fish from the pile and just runs and jumps in the water, and like, you just see him disappear.
So what is this place now?
Now you are in my home. This place is sacred, not only to me, but to those that believe in me.
Should I take off my shoes?
If you like, this stone feels quite nice.
So, I think we should talk to you about the reason we were here in the first place. Being that we were sent to capture you, right? What of the people who sent us? What are they in it for?
It is not a boast, simply a fact. When I say I have great power, there are always those who seek great power for ill intentions.
Sorry.
Did you get a rat in your cotton throat?
Yeah, I'm not sure what it was, but appreciate your hospitality.
I appreciate that you put your lives on the line in order to defend my home, my mountain, and my people. Kieran drops down, bending its front legs, and dips its horn to the ground. It gets back up. Those that sent you to hunt me, I'm sure they're still out there. And their machinations tend to all be the same, of using power for their own good, at the cost of everyone else's. The details of which are the things that change. beneficial if they will no longer pursue their venture. Now, I expect you have a cornucopia of questions. What is first on your mind?
What of the library?
Intellect, mostly. It's a little more action than I wanted to, but it is mostly unscathed.
So, can I see if I still have that piece of paper in my bag
Which paper?
about the mission? That one stinking.
Oh my
stupid
God.
rabbit. Listen, if anyone knows what the frick that is for, it's got to be this guy.
Yeah, you still have it in your pack.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, wait, I like wipe my hands like off on just my legs because I don't have pants anymore. I have like shorts now, and so she's used to being able to brush them off a little closer to me. She pulls out from her bag of maybe slightly smoked paper of the weird water mission quest. This is your mountain. Do you know what this is? Or what this the town had like a mission.
Comes down to look at it. Oh, they're still playing this game.
Well,
Let's just say your curiosity is about to be met with answers.
ooh.
You've already passed the test this implies. And then much, much more.
I was just staring at Yazan like really.
Yeah, kind of like what's that supposed to mean?
Just goes back to eating.
Just have a bit of patience and you'll see.
Okay.
Trode starts laughing. She tells Yazlin to have patience. So, a previous question that I'd asked, the other elements, is there Kieran's representing those, and do they have their own champions? Are we to expect to run into them? And if so, are they going to be an issue?
It was an odd twist of fate that pushed you to interact with the elementals as we have already. One could live several lifetimes in a young and never hear so much of a glimpse of what they are, let alone meet them. The moment that veil of secrecy has been broken, it is likely that you will meet them again. Especially neutral. It's not true.
Now,
To answer the first portion of the question, yes. And no. I'm the only Kieran that exists in Halo. But the other elements have different representatives. We follow the same structural order. Allow me to please explain. And looks up to the ceiling of the space at the top here is like a dome of water. Seems to typically mirror not a glass dome, just pure water. It opens up and you can see a tunnel of a large size. You see some fish like floating around on the other side. And through there come in a form with brownish skin, a deep amethyst crystal adorned to their stomach, kind of a dusty set of legs. And a wispy set of legs with a gold sash wrapped around it, with hair glowing. I'd like to introduce Anton and Spada. Please do not get me wrong in thinking that we are allies. But I did ask for them both a small favor. To meet you. To greet those who tipped the scales just enough to avoid total elemental collapse. And you see the two of them there, about as bruised and broken looking as you lot are. You've healed, but you're gonna have some ouchies for a while. You've been through a lot. You've got a lot of new scars on their lip. They look kind of the same. And Spala, the rimmed Jinn, looks at you all. Nothing ever stays the same, does it? Humans meddling might be the only exception. And they have a tenacity to them. One that does not easily yield. Most run away and crumble. Kieran gestures to the two of them and then kind of like downvote herself. Our factions are known as the cardinal elements. Like with navigation, cardinal refers to the true direction. We mean it the same. True water, true earth, true wind, and true fire. There is a hierarchy of purity of these forces. are bound by the laws of this world. That we helped create. My two associates here and they are stewards of their cardinalities. As was his father. Oh, excuse me, I said that wrong. As was Intuitus. And he still is, he's just not with us at the time. I am what is known as a hand. The champions, as well as beasts of each water as well. And finally, there are the kings. The original creational elements that have come into this world and set the foundations for others to live upon it.
So I guess Leo might step up and ask if you're the creators of Aeon, why? Why did you create it? Why are we all here?
That is a great question. And something I do not know the answer to. I spoke the truth, but perhaps I have misspoken my clarity. When we were brought here, there was nothing. But we were the first. And so we made it into something.
So you don't know why you're here either.
Indeed.
And what of the other gods? You claim to be the first one that created this world. Where did the other gods come from?
As far as I know, we were all pulled from separate places of power. And I would not use the term God to represent myself or any of my faction. Just a level of purity that resides in us, and there is an extreme power. The God I may reserve for whatever it is that manipulated us to come from this world. king is more powerful than even my imagination or understanding. And they will play like a puppet, just like I am. Something more powerful than that is what I reserve to God for.
We're gonna. Can you turn up your gain a little bit on your mic? I already boosted you on my Discord, and you're still a little bit quiet.
It's been a while since I touched this thing. Just a moment. Yep, I'm also speaking as a very soft-spoken character, so. Okay, speaking in my sexy radio voice once more. Is that any better?
That's right.
Thank
That's
you
the
for this
Kieran's.
suggestion.
That's the Kieran's new voice.
I'm getting kind of hungry.
Again?
All this talk of power.
The whole time. Dro's just kind of.
You were talking.
Yeah, I was muted.
I was like, I can't tell if she's
now.
talking or if she's
I was.
just like muttering.
No. She'll return to the gin. Is this region safe now from your fire compatriot? Will he not return to try again or try in your own lands?
And why is he so hostile in comparison to you lot?
In order of what was spoken. Yes, he will return. This place will not be safe. This place is weakened. He looks over to Kieran, and Kieran doesn't rebuke his statement. As are we. The cardinalities are strengthened or weakened based on their presence in Aeon. The other one begins to speak. That graft was an outlier. Stronger than we've seen before. Planted at the heart of one of the sanctuaries of water. It was dangerous to the scales. And Fax sensed it and came to claim it for his own. Water is weakened. I am weakened. And Dolma is weakened. And the balance is overall in favor of fire. The others have not played into this. But one balance leaves everything one imbalance leaves everything unbalanced.
Two questions. While you're here, who guards your cardinalities? And what is it you expect of us? We are mere mortals, dealing with beings close to gods. Do you expect us to sit watch over this land indefinitely? Waiting for fire to make its move?
No. You put your nose where it doesn't belong. And for that, you have my thanks. She bows, not nearly as deeply as the Kieran does. Or as the Kieran did earlier, and she doesn't stop looking up at you. And Earth Jin does the same. Mortals are their own type of creators. You play your part just as we play ours. You cannot compete in our realms, but neither can we compete in yours. To influence each other significantly, and neither is more powerful than the other. We merely wished to meet you, show gratitude, and educate those who may be interested in the balance. And he kind of turns, and there's an audible, crack, like stone grinding against stone as he looks over at Yaslin. And we're amicable simply because Askalor asked us to play nice. Do not misunderstand me.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Nikirin, you've seen fire at its most voracious. At least what Enfax was capable of. However, water, earth, wind, as well as the others, are all capable of equally devastating destruction. You've proven yourselves allies to me. Therefore, you have my hospitality. Should you have my wrath, you will not survive it. Everything is a balance, even within ourselves.
I am an ally for balance, but I cannot speak for my compatriots.
I like balance in my favor.
Aye.
Is that the only syllable? Just I.
Like aye. I'm picking up some of Seamus's
Yes.
accent.
I'm a pirate.
Aye.
What of you, new champion? You've got the winds of curiosity in your mind.
We talk a lot about balance, give and take. Maybe it's just me being impatient and the outcome of what's happened and what kind of glancing at the group, what you've given. And to be honest, it's going to take me time to understand because right now I see the balance that I gave was a lot more than what I received. And again, I'm very impulsive. Look, glancing over at Yaslin, some say. But you did show me proof. And I'm open to not fully accepting it yet, but I'll get there.
See what you do. But don't expect any mercy if my champion crosses your path.
Is this the air, Jen?
Yep.
Gerald's just gonna look up and grin. Okay.
They are not quite as fresh as you are.
Kind of glance back. No, I'm not alone. Glancing at the Kieran of like reassurance that this is another ally he's made. And glance back up at the air gen. I love meeting new people. And just kind of grin.
You may have chosen well, Ascalon. Let's see if he holds up. And to answer the final part of your question, our domains are less protected in this time, so yes, we must return. We've protected our own self-interest and the balance by coming here. Now Ascalor was us a bit of a favor. Repayment is also a form of balance. We may see you some other time. And the two Jinn kick up their dusty legs and wispy tails and fly out the ceiling above.
Seamus is gonna wink at the wind.
Oh my gosh.
Human. You hear the air kind of whisper.
I look over at Seamus. You dog.
Terrell's also gonna be like, they do know not all of us are humans, right?
Are you a human, Seamus?
There's a bit of that in there.
Okay.
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 Okay. Now. I'm just curious. If they claim that balance is so important, why did fire break it?
Given the opportunity that he had, we would all be likely to break it. Sometimes it is about keeping those around you in check against their own hubris. But it is very much so in his nature that he followed it. If one of us were out of balance in a similar way, I'm sure that he would come to try to push us back as well.
So,
Were they able to direct a graph?
Are you asking if it was on purpose?
Yeah, you said it was stronger than normal. And right at the heart of things. That just seems more than coincidence to me.
There is a reason for it. It is not within my observational ability. Sometimes terrible things just happen. Sometimes they happen for a reason, even if we never know it.
Your steward at the time, if I'm understanding the hierarchy correct, was holding it open or closed, or able to control it to some degree. Is that normal for you?
He used his power to combat a strong power from somewhere else. And it drained him. Back for a time. Water has a hole in it. The pillars are unstable, and Enfax and those he serves will take advantage. If they can.
There is no way to prevent this. To stop him.
There certainly is. But he has a new army, or at least enough to supplement his existing one. My steward is absent. I have a new champion, but your powers admittedly limited for me. And my home is in tatters. My own army is a little thrashed. In the meantime, if you're looking to help, where you can, raise water up. Cleanse it from poisons. Allow its free-flowing movements to persist. Cultivate those that respect it. The absence of entrails can be made up by the presence of many. It is not an easy task. But if you are now allowed to my domain, making yourself stronger will help when the time is right. And facts will not be swift in his recovery and attempt to attack. He himself is severely wounded.
Does he have his own champion?
Something about fire that calls to the heart of people, especially those with wicked intentions. He has several.
I'm curious why none of them were in here.
If you got word that there was something around the globe that could tip the favor and balance of water, I would not expect you to be there within a matter of days.
We could possibly be expecting some company.
Perhaps.
Okay.
You are prevented, in fact, from getting his hands on not one but two beasts. And I suppose that giant would be more of a Zot than a Vor. But that first creature you slayed was a Vor indeed. Zot. Vor. Sorry guys, 1 second. Some notes wrong. Zot Vor En As Khan. Those are the rankings in our native tongue. Does anybody understand Primordial or one of the sub-languages of Primordial?
Me too.
What
Yep.
would sub-languages be? Celestial?
Nope, it's a Aquan, Terran, Ignan. I forget what wind is.
Where do you find your languages on this?
On attributes.
Oh, there it is. Okay, no.
Aran.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do now.
I know Ignan. I
I know the
fire
water.
one.
I know the water one.
I like how we have fire and water. You're just like, yeah, I know fire.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so to the two of you, they directly translate to Zat, it means champion. Vor means beast. En means steward. Az means hand. And Khan means king. I'm going to put those in the chat. So
Thank you.
I was like, I need a repeat.
And then, just so I understand, he said that in order?
yes.
Like statue of order? Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. Okay.
Okay, wait.
I think when he says that, Joe's just going to stand up and kind of take a step back. That's a lot.
You are in the hierarchy now. Yaslin, roll an insight check for me against your beastie.
Oh no! Please no.
That's not bad.
14. Oh no! I always clench when it has to do with my beastie.
There's something about it, like having it explained, you can sense some sort of flinching or something.
Her brows kind of crease for a moment, but she doesn't. She kind of tucks away that mental note of she's gonna check in on that. In a bit.
I think no, Dro would definitely be keeping his head down now and just soaking it in, I guess. Being very quiet. So, what now? We just get stronger and just wait for this war?
Will come. It's an inevitable effects on this. I imagine you have other things to do in the meantime. Strength does not simply come from how strongly you can wield a blade or cast a spell. It comes from your character, the means by which you operate, your conviction, and your resources. Get stronger in everything. You will hear from me in mine when you know something. And you will likely see the signs when fire is beginning to make its move.
So we just wait to hear from you. Is that a two-way communication?
Let's see.
Yeah, sounds about right. Just metaphorically here. Say he's going to turn towards Margot, not you. So before anything happens, say someone has ability to talk into your head and you don't want them to do that anymore. It's not Margot.
Mm-hmm.
How would one do that?
Would I know maybe what he's referencing?
Everyone else in the group would probably pick up on it.
Margot thinks it's her.
Margot thinks it's her, but
Out of game, is
it
he signed the
that
book.
dude?
Yeah, he signed the book.
That dude. Would Yaslin know about that?
Well, he had the conversation in front of the whole group in the middle of the woods.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He pissed him off.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
You can just ask me not to speak in your head.
It's
Fine.
I'm being truthful. It's not you.
Okay. Whatever you say.
We'll
Now,
talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Yeah, because I asked you before not to go back in there, and you did. So.
I remember that conversation differently, but
Anyways, looks back towards the Kieran. The context, this group that we talked about a while ago. One of them has an ability of this little fancy book. These guys, pointing at Seamus and Leo, are chatting with an individual who had also signed this book. So they are, I would say, fairly familiar with the functionality of it. And my name is also in that book. I would like it not to be anymore.
Privileges. They will know.
Would Dro or Yaslin get the idea of how powerful this group is? If we've traveled with them for a little bit.
You were kind of brought in as like an independent contractor and then just kind of sent away. You never really saw them in action.
Okay. But that could also be good because we may not have as much connection to them, so they could just fuck off.
But wasn't it also to my understanding that I had worked with that group for a little bit longer than he had?
Yeah, but it's mostly like, so both of you would know, and Yaslin, you know this a little bit more, that they are expert trappers.
Mm-hmm.
They study their target, they figure out and manufacture, craft, cast spells specifically to it. It's like they are long-term hunters.
Okay.
Is their forte.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So many big regretties stepping my foot into that group. And I'm like, oh, fuck, my.
Dro's gonna look over towards Seamus and Leo. That might be a problem later down the road.
You can always go mess them up.
That's hopefully
Happen
the
to
case.
be somewhat specialized in dealing with things of this nature, actually.
We need to touch on that later.
Well, I think we have a lot of things that we need to touch on, and I don't like. I feel like now is a better time for us to touch on things than.
All right, well,
Come.
let's touch on the fact that Nora was the one who took the artifact from the salamander. Now we have nothing to take back to the town, and I don't know how we're going to get our reward.
I have a wild suspicion if
I think. Yeah.
the fires died down.
Oh, how do they prove it was us?
I don't know,
You gotta
maybe
think.
the lack of clothes and all of the burns across our bodies. I
Dro,
gave a little
Dro pulls out the
hint.
sword.
That's the way.
Half the people down there.
Could have just been a
Not the
good time.
sword.
Yeah, maybe this sword or this mace or like
You're grabbing
this,
the.
flaming skull that I actually did bring with or was once flaming skull. Or maybe this. I don't know.
Gold's not bad. The obsidian's not bad. We'll get. I think we can get away with it.
I think they'll
Just
probably
give
believe
me some of that
us.
obsidian.
Whoa. Number one, I broke this obsidian myself. You can go walk all the way back there and get some obsidian for you.
Hey, we'll see how your deception lies when we're talking to the city.
Leo, did you not grab it when we first went down into the cave? It was laying all on the ground.
I don't just pick up rocks.
I broke like
Nora does.
tons worth of it.
There's a small grumble from one of the crystals on Leo's belt.
Ah,
Oh. What do you need obsidian for anyways?
never mind. We'll deal with it later.
I mean, Leo's got a point. We're gonna maybe need some extra proof if you got anything that we could bring there, Kieran. I don't know if you've got any evidence that we could demonstrate. We've already come to an accord on the other contract, but we'd like to settle up with the people that still owe us for the other bit here. And the other stuff we can take care of our own.
What would you know?
What can you do?
Like proof or evidence, hard evidence?
You have a official stamp or something you could put on a letter, or
Maybe a gold medal and put around our necks. You know, just spitballing.
He kind of closes its eyes. Oh dear.
Oh dear?
And it opens its eyes. I thought something was new. Seems that our fiery friends made a bit of a circuitous route on their exit.
Meaning?
Meaning your fiery companion that you danced with prior to reaching the point. One of its eyes is missing.
What could that mean?
Means Zenfax took it.
What for?
When you fought the creature, you tell me.
what did it do? I forget what it did with its eyes. Like, did it like paralyze one of us or something?
Oh! For a second I was like, trying to cash in that reward and us. I was like, wait.
No.
Zenfax shows up like disguised as like a peasant, be like, "Hey, can I get that 300 gold, please?"
But then I
Like-
realized, oh, that eye does some asshole things. Yeah.
Someone's about to Medusa head some people with that eye.
Yeah.
That's cool. We should have got one of those.
I'm just-
What you would like.
Yeah, that would be excellent.
I can retrieve a part of its body. Whatever you would like.
Just a singular part? Do we want the eye, guys? Listen,
Yeah, the eye could give us paralysis ability.
listen, if... She looked around this party for a hot second. Who's going to carry this eye?
You probably want to wrap it in something.
Yeah.
Can I do an insight check on Yaslin to see if she's skeptical of certain people carrying it? I have a
Give it to
thing.
Leo.
I do have a thing. Guidance. He's gonna be straight up with it.
20. Holy crap.
I don't know if you want that to be silent or like a message or something.
Yeah, Yaslin, Dro is like staring at you, be like, "Girl, I know your mind."
Yeah. I'll send you a message.
So he's really just like you asking that. He's trying to see if there's certain people you'd rather not. Or if there's certain people you would rather. It's like the only fucking person I can do a good insight
The
check
issue
on.
is who gets the item?
Yeah, I think it's the question.
Who carries it?
You said I them.
So, I mean, it's a cool thing. I don't care who ends up with it. I just need it when we get to town. Or Seamus. We were the ones who signed the contract. Or took the flyer.
Yeah, I can take it. I mean, you know, I'm with Leo on this one. The power of its ability to end the contract is as great as its ability to
Yeah.
You were
sacrifice somebody in my mind.
you were the one that got the last blow.
This is true.
I think that's fine.
Laws of nature would dictate the spoils go to you, Mr. Black. What portion of it would you desire as your trophy?
I think that eye will be great.
She kind of closes your eyes. An eye that looks decently large, like a perfect sphere of obsidian.
What are you writing down, Troy? Petrifying eye of fire salamander monster. Check.
Got it.
That item's already a naturally existing item inside of D&D Beyond. You just have to search for it.
Exactly as I said it?
Precisely.
Yes. Perfect. Just add it to your inventory.
So we have something to give back to the people as evidence now.
Or to show as evidence, per se.
We're not. Yeah, I mean, we can show it. If it would technically
mean-
be his trophy, so it'd be
It-
kind
I
of.
mean, yeah, and it would petrify them if they saw it close up, so...
Can't you guys like just face it downwards so they don't look at it?
We might have to do, I think, Morgan... I don't know if you... I was gonna say, we're gonna have to do a Book of Mormon thing. Because I don't know if you guys know the story of the Book of Mormon, but it was read off gold plates in a hat to another man who then wrote it down. But yeah,
Mhm.
so like no one else could see the gold plates that the Book of Mormon was written on.
Yeah. Kieran chimes in. At the moment, it's just a lie.
Oh, so it can't really do anything.
More like it has potential. Anybody who's trying to figure out this thing, roll me an Arcana check.
I'm sure.
Fucking guidance.
Yeah, I will too. I'm interested. I don't have Arcana, but let's see if I roll a lucky.
None of us.
Listen, if it's anything Yaslin's interested
I got a
about.
23. So
I got an 18. That's a
Seamus-
bargain.
16.
Seamus is just like, show me the money!
Just puts it in his pouch.
Dro, Yaslin, Margot. You know this is, magic items have like magical components that can sometimes be found off of magical monsters.
Oh.
But you gotta do stuff with them. You have to like craft them into
Okay,
something valuable. It's usually like the components themselves are usually not a magic item on its own.
Okay, that makes sense. For now, it's just a fancy trophy.
Seamus, it's heavy. It's like bowling.
Oh god.
Probably
Are
a
you-
little bit more.
Are you good, Seamus?
I'll be alright.
Alright.
I've got maybe one more question. Do you know what's going on in your territory right now? And I guess more to the point is Nora out there? Is she alright? Do you know?
He's left. But from what I can understand, she's able-bodied. I wouldn't exactly call her sound of mind right now.
What happened to her?
She drank in a bit of what brought me here. The kind of energy that pulls this one in the direction that it moves. Somehow she had some trapped in that amulet of hers, and she gobbled it up. Beyond that, I don't understand what happened. But it changed. I don't know what's happened to your friend.
I'm not happy about it. I'm sorry to cut you off there if I did, but I'm definitely not feeling great about it, but there's this part of me that's also... There's something in her eye that said, it's okay. Even though I don't feel like it's okay.
I believe she's alive. I believe she's doing what she needs to be doing. Although that could be simply wishful thinking of an old deed. Do you have any further questions before you see what lies before you? It's all the answers that you're looking for. You should reset NASA.
Looking around the temple. Oh, the Kieran's home. You mentioned we need to get stronger. We need supplies. Is there anything here that could help us? Preferably stuff to keep us up longer.
Gestures forward. In the two doors at the end of the hall. Bust open. They open. I'm fairly certain to find it.
Jasmine just...
Jasmine's like, okay. Listen, she did really well, like, staying fairly attentive to this entire chit-chat.
I'm surprised.
There was food.
There was food also entertaining her. She, like, kind of wipes off the crumbs and...
One more thing, too. Is this the last time, at least myself, I'm looking around to be able to get here?
You have the power to reach you. The farther away you go, the further away you have to come back. But when you're here, you have the means. Just like everyone else.
He wouldn't say it out loud, but he would kind of relax and think of this place as a home. And just kind of bow to the Kieran. Then the group starts to walk out. He'll follow.
Leo's hoping they have a really big hat that he can buy. I don't think he's gonna buy it, but for years he's been thinking about getting a really big hat, like a
Like a top hat?
no,
bolero
like
hat?
Man, who's Peter Pan? Captain Hook's hat, something. Like
Oh,
a big feather.
yeah.
Like a tricorn?
Oh my god.
Bro doesn't know how to use doors, apparently. There we go.
I was hoping that they have more durable clothes for the rest of you.
Look, listen, yeah, surprisingly, actually, though, like, Yaslin is pretty comfortable walking around in, like,
Not surprised by that.
no clothes, essentially.
There's just something about her.
But also, like, if you, like, looked at her, like, not creepily, like, at a glance, observed.
Respectfully.
If you respectfully observed her, like, yeah, like she has a muscular build, but also there's not a ton of scars on her.
Yeah, you
Besides
have
yeah, I have like, well, it's like she has scales, but it's in like the very like typical what you would assume patterned where scales would be in like a patterned kind of sense. Scales on the shoulder, kind of on the forearms a little bit, you know,
Yeah.
feet. But the only like really prominent scales that aren't like seem to be a part of that pattern is the recent wound that she has gotten across her chest.
From her left shoulder
Yeah.
down, like a little bit across her breast, and down her ribs, down her hip. It's like a long scar going all the way down the left side.
And it's essentially just scaling up rather than scarring over like normal.
That's cool. You don't have to worry about Leo. You know, frankly, you're not his type.
But I'm glad. But yeah, there's like not a ton of body.
You cut out a bunch there.
Yeah, I know. My microphone just died on me. I was like, uh-oh. Yeah. She's pretty unmarked for the most part. But yeah, I mean, it would be nice to have a couple character. Yeah, I'm Evelyn. I can't have her walk around in a tattered, sad leather shorts and whatever she's wearing.
Before, because it looks like the group is starting to split, I think Juro would chime up. I think we're safe to go against what we normally say and split up. Find what we need. Possibly find what others would need.
Oh, you're just okay.
I was like, I'm right next to you.
No, but like Margot's token is also like right on top of yours, I think, for me.
Oh, there we go.
So I was like, wait.
Say we meet back up here. Honestly, I don't know how to get out of here.
I did not see an exit door.
Or we meet back up in that room where the Kieran was.
Where is here? Who are these people? Where are we at?
Goodness, give me a perception roll.
Where is my shirt?
I love it.
Leo, give me a perception roll.
Okay.
Well, your shirt is missing as mine is.
So, I can't remember if I've seen a Leonin or not.
Funny.
Like, that might be jarring for Leo.
Yeah.
Like, at first I think
You-
it's a beast, and then I'm like, wait, what? He can... Oh.
Yeah. You see that, and then it takes you a moment to process, like, oh, there's a... I mean, it kind of takes you a moment, and you're like, well, I've seen an actual Minotaur, and it has her own thing, and like, okay, well, there's different things in this world than what you're used to.
Yeah.
And then you kind of take a look at the clothes that they're wearing. Different, and there's a few people kind of like roaming around going about like some sort of, some sort of business that they seem to have going on in here, some sort of duties or something. And you see all of them are wearing a pin with a book with water.
Oh,
all in it.
I'm so
Just
I'm
out of
so
curiosity, does it
I'm
match
so pissed.
the same attire that we saw come out of the waterfall?
I'm
There's
furious.
paper in
I'm furious.
Library.
And that is where we're going to end for
With
today.
Yasmin furious.